Hi guys, it's Sebastian with Looking, Feeling, Smelling Great. I'm back with another video for you today. This time we're going to go ahead and discuss 15 refreshing fragrances that are not citrus dominant, with one honorable mention, so stay tuned. So I love citrus fragrances, but a lot of people have asked me, do a video that's not necessarily citrus dominant refreshing fragrances. So I decided to go through my collection and put aside all the fragrances that I have that I think that are refreshing but are not citrus dominant. So we'll go ahead and start out with this one honorable mention because it's a new one in my collection. Even though it has citruses, the dominant note is not a citrus. This is from the Indie House of Imaginary Authors, and it's called Falling into the Sea, this bottle right here. This is a lychee fruit dominant fragrance. Right behind it is a grapefruit. So those are the two dominant notes. Even though citrus is in there, still I get more of a lychee fruity sea-like, sand-like accord with this fragrances. It's excellent. It was actually not one that I enjoyed at first. It grew on me and I started loving it. And I'm glad to have it in my collection. I just got it yesterday, so I wore it to bed last night and it's really nice. And this one's under $100. It's $85 for a 60 ml from Imaginary Authors, Falling into the Sea. So that's the honorable mention. First off, we'll start out with Pulp by Byredo. This is a refreshing fig, fruity fig fragrance. It's very refreshing, perfect for hot, humid days. I love to take this to LA or to the Central Valley where family lives. And even though San Francisco is a cooler little pocket of temperature here in California, we are starting to get more warmer temperatures here, and this is actually working out perfect in those hot and humid days. So Pulp is really nice for the humidity, and it's very refreshing, and it's very fruity, while it's also kind of vegetable-y and things like that. Really love this one. Check out Pulp by Byredo. Oh, and the price on this one is around $240 for 100 ml. That's what this bottle is. But I've been seeing some sales here and there that are under $100. I mean, under $200. So look for those if you can find it. Next one, a long one, an old one that I've had in my collection for a long time is Un Jardin en Méditerranée by Hermes. This is by far the best one out of the collection of these fragrances, to me at least. Performs really nice. I get long longevity with this one. And it's a fig and woodsy dominant fragrance. It might come off a bit floral perhaps too, maybe a slight bit feminine for guys. But it's unisex. It's really nice. I really enjoy this one. It's one of the few fig fragrances that I have, I think, in this collection, along with Pulp. So check out Un Jardin en Méditerranée by Hermes. This retails probably about $150 for 100 ml, maybe $140. But you can find it under $100 at discounters. So do check this one out. Next up is Cologne du 68 by Guerlain. This right here. Now this is a iris dominant fragrance. It's kind of slightly powdery, but freshened up with like linden blossom and some flowers, and definitely there's citruses in there. But the big notes in here are iris and some flowers. So performance is not the best. It's called Cologne du 68, so it says it's cologne, but according to the notes I found, it's an eau de toilette, even though it's called Cologne du 68. So you might have to overspray this one. As you can see, I've used up a lot of it. It does require a lot of sprays because it smells just wonderful. Really nice stuff. So I really like it. It's about $100 for 100 ml, and you can probably find it at discounters for about $90, $80. There is a Parfum edition that has come out recently. It's in the L'Art et la Matière collection of fragrances from Guerlain, so the more expensive ones. And I hear the performance is better. But I'm happy to have this one. I think the other one might get really heavy, and this one's very nice and light and refreshing. So check out Cologne du 68 by Guerlain. Next up is a new one in my collection. It's by Jo Malone, so it's in a cologne. It's going to be light, but it's wild sage and sea salt. This right here, I think this is one of the most unique creations of theirs, or probably the most popular from what I hear of their releases recently. It's apparently selling really well for them, and it's just a big time success for them. And I really like this one. It's salty, fresh. It's herbal with the sage. Just an all-around very great, pleasant scent. It retails for about $140 for 100 ml. And don't see much discounts with Jo Malone at all. I just don't. I think it's like Chanel, just hardly distributed with discounters. So kind of have to go into the retailers like Bloomingdale's and Nordstrom's and Neiman's and Saks and things like that to pick this up. But it also, since it's into the cologne, it doesn't perform as well. But I think in the summer heat, this works really nicely. It's very, very refreshing. So check out Wild Sage and Sea Salt by Jo Malone. This next one is one of my favorite niche houses, Annick Goutal, and this is Nuit Étoilée. It's pine and mint, very refreshing, very woodsy, very herbal, but very pleasant scent. It reminds me of Nighttime, which is basically what the name is. But this is a Nuit Étoilée, the men's bottle right here. I do happen to have the Eau de Parfum edition in the ladies' bottle. And these bottles are hard to come by now. They've discontinued the colored bottles. They've gotten rid of them. They're all clear bottles now. If you can get them, it'd be awesome. But it's such a beautiful scent. Do check it out if you're into at all mint. It's not a fresh mint, it's a dried mint. So it does have that dried, more concentrated mint note. It's a lot woodsier and a lot herbal rather than fresh. It's not that fresh, but it's still a very refreshing scent. There's something refreshing about it. It sounds like it could be heavy, but it's not. It's just definitely Annick Goutal freshness. So check out Nuit Étoilée. Suggested retail for the 100 ml is about $130. You can find these discounted. They're really inexpensive, around $75, $80 for 100 ml. So do check it out. This next one is a really beautiful fragrance, very nice, very refreshing for the summertime. And this is called Eau de Campagne by Sisley. It's tomato, leaves, basil, and then there's some citruses along with it too. But so refreshing, very, very nice, classy, classic smelling herbal fragrance. And the nose is Jean-Claude Lena. He is the guy who did this right here also, among many other fragrances for Hermes, but this is where he got his start. If you're looking for something not too overpowering, but still green and herbal, but very refreshing, do check out Eau de Campagne by Sisley. It's an underrated gem, I think. Really, really nice stuff. $120 to $130 is the regular price for this, somewhere around that ballpark. But I bought this from Amazon for about $80, so it's really inexpensive, I think. So this next one is a really big, refreshing fragrance for me. It's Rose Dominant, Lyric Man by Amouage. It's a rose, but with lime, so it's not heavy. It is very concentrated though when you spray it. It's got really great longevity and performance. It's awesome for this fragrance, but still it's very fresh. It's a fresh rose. And this is one of 2 rose fragrances I have in this collection. I have 2 fresh, refreshing rose scents. But this one's beautiful. It's such a nice scent. That lime refreshes the rose, just perfect for a day when you want rose, but you don't want to be, weighted down by a heavy rose. Check out Lyric Man. Prices are all over the place. This is expensive for suggested retail, but you can probably find it around the $200 mark at discounters. Maybe like as low as $190, maybe like $175 to $190, and as high as $240, $250 for 100 ml. So Lyric Man is really cool. Check it out. The next rose that I like to be refreshed, that's not citrus dominant, is Rose Anonyme by Atelier Cologne. So this one, it kind of sounds like it could be heavy, but it is after all Atelier Cologne, and they're all very kind of lighter, more fresh fragrances. And this one actually seems to be one of my favorites from that collection. They've got really decent fragrances, but I just have not found one that's very unique except for Rose Anonyme, and I just love wearing gobs of sprays of this one all over. So 100 ml is about $140. This is the 6.4 ounce, I believe, or 6.7 ounce, I can't remember now. And this one is about $200, so it's a lot more juice, but it lasts longer, but you do get to spray more of it. So, but boy, what a beautiful rose this is. It's got this sparkly, shiny, fizzy quality to it. It's just wonderful stuff. So check out Atelier Cologne's Rose Anonyme. So we've got a vetiver here. Now I have a lot of vetiver fragrances in my collection, but I don't find them all to be very refreshing, except for this one by L'Occitane. There's something creamy about it, but it's got this like interesting freshness to it. Inexpensive too. 100 ml is about $65. I don't find much sales for L'Occitane, but they do have like gift sets and things like that, or freebies when you spend like $65. So you'll have to find a coupon from them to get a little extra. But this is actually decent fragrance. Spray gobs of it because, you know, it's an eau de toilette, but it doesn't have the best performance. It's on the lighter side, I think, but I think it's perfect for the hot and humid days. This vetiver, I just love it. So check out L'Occitane's vetiver. I'll soon add it to another video also because I really, really do like this one. Do check it out. This next one is an Hermes fragrance, and it's called Voyage de Hermes, and this is Eau de Parfum edition right here. It's cardamom dominant fragrance, but it's very refreshing, but still spicy at the same time. I tend to prefer the EDP over the EDT, although EDT is really nice too. But this one just does something about it. It's something about it I just love. Reminds me of Middle Eastern coffee or Turkish coffee, where it's got cardamom in it. But it's not heavy. It doesn't have that heaviness of coffee fragrances. It's just a cardamom spice that reminds me of the coffee. But boy, what a wonderful fragrance this is. Lots of sprays of this one also. It's very refreshing and perfect for hot and humid summers. And performance is decent. It's probably like 5 to 6 hours, but really enjoy wearing it. And when I need something that's not citrus, but want a little kick to it also. So check out Voyage de Hermes EDP by Hermes. The pricing on this, I think 100 ml is about $130. This is a 50 ml, so I bought it, it was just under 100, probably like 90 or 75, 80, something like that. And these are refillable, so next time you can buy a refillable bottle and fill it up, and you don't have to buy another original bottle. Kind of a unique bottle concept also, I think. So the next one, here's another Voyage, and this is Nautica Voyage. Everybody knows this one. It's an inexpensive masterpiece of sorts. It's a very fresh, crisp green apple aquatic. Luckily, it's a good aquatic that I prefer. I like. The apple note, the green apple note, is so refreshing and crisp. I just love the way it smells, and it's perfect. It's got some saltiness to it because of that, you know, Voyage Nautica aquatic thing, but it's not fishy, so it's really good that way. And you can find this for under $25. Sometimes you can find it for under $20, and I actually picked this up at TJ Maxx for $15, so it's really inexpensive. Check out Nautica Voyage by Nautica. Now this next one, everybody knows about it. It's Creed's Aventus. If you can't afford Creed's Aventus, definitely try things like Insurrection Pure by Rayon. But I've fallen in love with Creed's Aventus all over again, and I just love wearing this stuff. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's Creed. It's not going to have the best performance, although people say they get major longevity with Aventus. But I guess they also talk about the different batch codes and things like that. I just really don't care about that. I just love the way this thing smells, and I put it on, and if it's gone after 5 hours, I'll go to another fragrance or I'll just replenish. So expensive stuff. This is about $350 for a 4.2 ounce bottle, but if you can't afford it, as I said, there are other inexpensive options too. So check out Creed's Aventus or the inexpensive one. This next one is by Penhaligon's, and it's called Bayolia, this bottle right here. Now this is a lemongrass dominant fragrance. It also has a dominant note of lavender, so it's kind of a modern take on a barbershop scent. There are some citruses in here, but again, the dominant scent is lemongrass. So it kind of has a grassy lemoniness to it, but I've included it on this list because it's not necessarily a citrus. So, and I really like this one. It's very refreshing for the summertime, and then it's kind of got a fougere-like quality to it, but it's unique. I really enjoy it. So check out Bayolia. Suggested retail is about $130, but you can get it discounted for about $90 for 100 ml. And the bottles are really cute too. This next one is Acqua di Parma's Mirto de Panarea, this bottle right here. Now this is a myrtle dominant fragrance. There are some citruses in here. The bergamot is in there, of course. It's usually in a lot of these blue Mediterraneo fragrances. I've worn the Fico de Amalfi in the past also. This one, there's something about that myrtle flower that's really beautiful. I found it to be the most unique out of the line after the Fico de Amalfi that I wore like 5-6 years ago. Check out Mirto de Panarea. This one retails for about $140 for 100 ml. This is actually 50 ml. But you can buy 100 ml for discounted, probably around $70, $80, at the most $90. Those are the ballparks. I mean, I'm sure you'll find it for more expensive too, but I found it as low as about $75 for 100 ml. So do some checking out. And this is really, really good stuff for the summertime to be refreshed. Last but not least, this is a curveball in this fragrance collection of refreshing fragrances. This is what I recently picked up, and I'm really enjoying how fresh this is. It's Kouros Eau d'Ete. It's basically mint and woods and things like that, but it's very fresh. It's actually a fresh take on Kouros. Really hard to come by these days, but really, really good stuff with that kind of slight skankiness of Kouros thrown in there. Really, really nice. I really like it. And then if you want a different take on it, there's also Kouros Summer Tattoo. This is from the Tattoo collection. So slightly different fragrances, but both refreshing. They're made for summertime wear, especially for those guys that crave Kouros, but it might be too heavy for them. Both of these are quite nice for the summertime. So that's pretty much it. 15 fragrances plus an honorable mention that are refreshing, that are not citrus dominant. So guys, let me know if you have any questions or comments. If I missed anything, let me know. I always like to find out more refreshing fragrances that I can think to wear in the future that are not necessarily citrus dominant. If you have any questions or comments, leave below. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, please do so. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I'll have links to these fragrances in the info box if you want to pick them up. All right, guys, see you all later. Have a good one. Goodbye.